Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most devastating and fascinating chapters in South American history, the Paraguayan War, also known as the War of the Triple Alliance. This war was a brutal conflict that pitted Paraguay against a coalition of three powerful neighbors: Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay. It reshaped the region, leaving behind destruction, political changes, and profound lessons about the cost of ambition and war. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's uncover the story behind South America's deadliest war. To understand this war, we have to first understand the region's political landscape in the mid-19th century. Paraguay was a small, landlocked country, but it had a fiercely independent economy and military. It was led by Francisco Solano Lopez, a man with big ambitions. Now, Lopez wasn't just any leader. He modeled himself after Napoleon, envisioning Paraguay as a dominant power in South America. His country was heavily militarized with a well-trained army, but it was also isolated, surrounded by larger, stronger nations. To the east, Brazil was a sprawling empire looking to expand its influence. To the south, Argentina, under President Bartolomé Mitre, sought to consolidate power. And Uruguay? Well, it was caught in the middle of a civil war between two factions, the pro-Brazilian Colorados and the pro-Paraguayan Blancos. Paraguay and Lopez viewed Brazil's interference in Uruguay as a direct threat to the region's balance of power. That's where the trouble began. In 1864, Brazil supported a coup in Uruguay, backing the Colorado faction against the Blanco faction, which had Paraguay's support. Lopez warned Brazil not to intervene, but when they ignored him, he acted. Paraguay seized a Brazilian steamer, declared war on Brazil, and launched an invasion of the Mato Grosso province. It was a bold move, showcasing Paraguay's military capabilities, but it also escalated tensions with Argentina. In 1865, Lopez made another daring decision. He sought permission to cross Argentine territory to attack Brazil again. When Argentina refused, Lopez declared war on them too. At this point, Brazil, Argentina, and the new Colorado government in Uruguay formed the Triple Alliance. What began as a localized conflict quickly turned into an all-out war. Early on, Paraguay was winning. Lopez's forces were disciplined and well-equipped, surprising their enemies with a series of victories. One of the key moments was the invasion of Corrientes in Argentina and the siege of Uruguay in Brazil. These were bold maneuvers, but they stretched Paraguayan forces thin. Lopez was gambling everything on a quick victory, hoping to force a favorable peace. But there was a major problem. The Triple Alliance had far more resources, more soldiers, more weapons, and larger economies to sustain a prolonged war. Paraguay's isolation began to work against it. By 1866, the tide began to turn. The Triple Alliance launched a counteroffensive, with Brazil's navy blockading Paraguayan rivers and cutting off supplies. The Battle of Tuiuti was a major turning point. It was one of the largest battles in South American history, involving tens of thousands of troops. Paraguay suffered massive losses, and it was clear that Lopez's strategy of overwhelming his enemies wasn't sustainable. From this point on, the war became a grinding, bloody struggle. The Allies pushed deeper into Paraguayan territory, capturing fortresses and towns. By 1868, Asuncion, Paraguay's capital, fell to the Allied forces, but Lopez refused to surrender. Lopez retreated into the countryside, rallying the remnants of his army and civilians for a guerrilla war. His determination to fight to the end turned the conflict into a tragic war of attrition. The final blow came at the Battle of Cerro Cora in 1870. Lopez was killed in combat, famously refusing to surrender with the words, "I die with my homeland." His death marked the end of the war. The war devastated Paraguay. Some estimates suggest that up to 90% of its male population died, and the country lost significant territory to Brazil and Argentina. Economically, socially, and politically, Paraguay was shattered. For Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay, the war solidified their dominance in the region. but at a massive cost in lives and resources. The Paraguayan War remains a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and geopolitical rivalry. So, why should we remember the Paraguayan War today? Beyond the numbers and battles, this war was about the clash of dreams and realities, Lopez's ambition versus the harsh geopolitical landscape of South America. It's a reminder that wars, no matter the causes, leave scars that last for generations. Thank you for joining me on this journey through history. If you learned something new, give this video a thumbs up, share it with others, and subscribe for more deep dives into history. What part of this story surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.